We are red. Red is on.
Today is Thursday, January 25th, year 2018. This meeting of the Tilton, what's the time? 4:50.
Yeah.
Let this meeting of the Tilton Board of Selectmen now come to order. Please let the record show that two of our selectmen have not arrived yet. Oh, let us stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, because it's, you're not supposed to have politics and God, so in my brain I leave it out. I don't think about it first. All right, let's see if we can squeeze the minutes of January 18th then. I haven't looked at them at all.
She's not gonna make it out of night. And John's
Didn't
close.
sound like it.
Do we want to say under here, conveying the ownership of the island park to the town of Tilton, explained where Northfield had not been financially contributing to maintenance and upkeep of the island? They have on occasion have done that. So we can't say not.
No, they haven't completely. Joyce?
They haven't contributed to the capital reserve fund.
No, but does Northfield still,
If it's something major,
every other week, do they still send people over to do the mowing and whatnot?
you better ask Brock that.
I don't think they do.
They don't.
Okay, they do?
No, they do not.
I didn't think they did.
According to Brock, they don't. But
So-
if there's something over there, they have contributed. If we ask them,
Yes.
like the trees, the maintenance over there and the trees and
If we
stuff,
put
they have.
have not been, instead of had not been,
Right.
have not been, and they haven't recently.
This seems like nothing at all, just seems like nothing, and that's not a true statement.
Have not instead of have not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they have in the past.
right.
And, maybe it's our fault to remind the selectmen that over there that, they're supposed, one week they're supposed to do the island and the other week Tilton is.
Well, you would think if you found them.
Well, so they only have a board of 3, so that board changes more often than ours. And they've gone through new public works directors.
We have two. And we still maintain it.
Yeah.
Return the minutes.
Did we ever get the total notice information?
Yes, I have that.
Okay, good.
I thought you did it last week.
You have a movie time?
No, that's always there for planning board. A good show movie, do you have one?
No.
Okay.
Gail, nice report on the lottery presentation. I mean, somebody reading this would have a pretty good idea of what she said,
Yep.
what she told us.
They're supposed to, what happened?
I was just saying, nice job on these minutes for the presentation to us about Keno. Somebody reading
Yes.
this would have a pretty
Yeah,
gist of what
really
Keno
nice,
is.
yep. I think that under Selectmen's reports, we talked about the cars parked on Deer Street. Let me read it one more time. It sounds as if like the chief is saying, well, we don't have any complaints, therefore there couldn't be any trouble. But he agreed to have a conversation with the owners. He hasn't,
But do we know that it's their patrons?
yes, we do,
We do?
we do.
Are there no parking signs there?
We do, we
There's no
absolutely,
signs on Deer Street that
No, there's
indicate
no
parking
signs
or no
there.
parking.
right.
Um,
So there was a discussion about, what different options we should do, and the board had agreed to maybe just have the chief have a conversation with the owner. But we had talked about signage, and we talked about other options of parking and things like that. So it wasn't just a, right,
But how can I'm gonna say the same thing I said that night. How can the police make the owners responsible for their patrons' parking off-site?
well, they can't, but in a conversation, if they may have other options available to them that they're not aware of. And if it doesn't, then perhaps maybe we may have to have a conversation with them, and it may be down the road there.
Right, you have a street that's not posted for anything.
Right.
See, the little
Which
people
may
park-
need to be
So,
posted,
yeah, so
so
there's
that
no-
would be an
I
option
mean,
for
I'm just
us.
saying, as a patron of the place, if it's busy like that, I choose to park in the high school parking lot, hoping that they won't have my car towed. But, if I chose to park on Deer Street and I could get off the street wide enough, I'm legally parked because there's no sign that says I can't. It's just interesting situation. Anyway, we all
I don't think it's really earth-shattering either, because it was just,
Just a discussion.
Let's make it
a
one way.
discussion, right, and you really can't because of the school buses go down that way. Oh, yeah, you could. No, you can't because the school buses go down the other way to pick them up.
It blocks one lane of traffic. I've seen it where there were at least 10 or 12 cars lined right
Happens
up.
on Chestnut
And it blocks, but
Yeah.
like I said,
Happens on Morrison Ave, too.
Yeah.
unless we let the
Happens
chief
on-
take care of it.
Majority of
80%
our
of the streets in this town.
substandard roads in town.
No, there's no shoulder.
Substandard.
All right, I'll make a
They were
motion.
okay in the horse and buggy day.
Exactly.
Take the houses down.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of January 18th, 2018 as written.
As amended?
We didn't
Second.
make any corrections.
As
did we?
amended, yeah, you
As
made
I'm
amended?
gonna add some language there, that there was discussion about
the,
signage
this-
and other
oh,
options.
yeah,
Okay.
the Northfield thing.
Oh, that's right, okay.
I seconded it.
All right, all those in favor of the motion on the table, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. And we're almost 5 o'clock. Has anybody had a chance to read Tim's report? He has a request in here that we motion. It's, something we do a couple times a year for the tan. So I'm gonna make a motion that the town initiate a $2,500,000 line of credit tax anticipation note with Franklin Savings Bank with a rate of interest not to exceed 2.75%.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
He does what he does.
Yeah?
He does it well.
Looks like interest rates are going up again.
Yeah. A little bit.
And Tim does his best, so.
All right, all those in favor of the motion on the table, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. It's cruiser time. John, has the budget committee approved a budget
Yes,
in its entirety,
Yes.
the selectmen's budget, or?
within a few dollars. I think there were a couple things.
I think it was the blind and.
Well, there were some outside
Well,
agencies
the
that were
other thing
different.
was, and I asked questions how it got there, why we funded the island maintenance at $2,000, but they only requested $1,500.
Island maintenance.
You mean the island concert?
It says island maintenance is one of the line items.
Really? Why would we
And it
be
says-
funding island maintenance at all?
$2,000 in the selectmen,
In the
$1,500.
past, Catherine, when Parks had it, we would have had it in part of ours. I don't,
Yeah, yes, yeah,
Do you budget?
I do.
Something would be $1,500.
I didn't grab it.
Is it
2,000.
under highway or is it selectmen's?
It's under the selectmen's budget, and we usually spend at least minimum of $1,500 a year.
Island maintenance?
Yep.
Is it for the porta potties?
No, it's everything.
You know-
Hold on.
Why isn't that in the public
Christmas
works?
lights, who knows?
Branches.
The island maintenance has never been in the public works, it's always been separate. There have only been two, since I've been here, there's only been two account numbers, and they both said island park maintenance.
So when they go over there every week and do their mowing and whatnot, where are those monies taken from?
Just their labor comes out of the,
Out of their budget.
out of their budget.
So that's island maintenance.
Here.
So you're saying we put some things in a different maintenance line. That's interesting.
I still don't see.
Yeah, and it's where it's a little confused. Look for $2,000 and $1,500.
Here, I've got all the, you wanna
You
know?
know
What
what line
item
item?
number is it? I'm looking at the budget that Tim gave us.
01-89 4520 99 945. And
I
from
couldn't figure that
2007
out.
to 2009, it was 01-92 45 89 99
It's under
935.
culture and recreation.
Especially since we have,
You want me to tell you some of the expenses? Okay, just from 2017, we spent a total of $2,055. Eversource Island Electricity, buying light bulbs. The guys did built some picnic tables. Bryant and Lawrence with some hardware supplies. We had some electrical with Durgan Electric, and then the toilet rental. All that came to $2,055.
but yet we don't show the maintenance we do weekly.
No.
In that.
That's
Okay.
minor.
Why would the toilet rental come out of there? Because doesn't that come out of parks?
No, it always comes out of.
We do it. Okay, because I asked that question last year and they said no, parks does it.
No, Parks includes that in our bid for porta potties, so we get
But
a
it
better
comes out of
price.
there.
Yeah.
Got
But
it.
that comes
All
out
right.
of the island monies, not the
Got it.
parks.
Now, in 2016, we spent $3,715, but Northfield did reimburse half of the tree maintenance. That bill was $2,600, and they paid us $1,300.
You know, usually I find in the past, if we contact them in advance, let them know what's taking place, they're pretty good about responding.
I agree.
We have always been there.
If
It's
there-
when we don't.
If
How
there's no major repairs being done to the island, just normal expenses would run about $800 a year. That's just for porta potty, Christmas lights, electricity, and
And you're saying they increased it.
In the budget, department request was $1,500, and for some reason, the budget committee increased it to $2,000, and I don't know why. I don't know when that happened and where the numbers are coming from, so. We left that $2,000 in there because we're gonna have the public hearing next week.
Can we find out where the
Discuss
chair,
it, and
why the chair wants it in there?
We can figure it out, how it got there. And if not, we'll probably change it back to the department request.
Who compiles that request for the island maintenance?
we do.
That's what I thought.
Who's we?
It's in a select
Board of
budget.
Selectmen. It's in the Selectmen's budget.
So, what did
We
we think of painting this year?
Did we put in 2,000 for it this year?
Decking?
No.
painting?
Does it?
1,500?
I think it's getting kind of,
What
maybe
did-
there
what
was
did
money for
Tim,
painting the bridge.
I can't connect to the internet.
Yeah, so I was really, really slow up
It says I'm
there.
connected, but I'm not.
So is the chief coming? He was supposed to be here at 5, wasn't he?
They have
No,
a,
Steve was supposed to be here at 5.
they have a really bad issue in Franklin,
Oh,
a really bad issue in Franklin that they may have to assist. I just got a text from the chief, but that doesn't,
okay.
it may involve,
Do we have any recommendations for that? 15? Well,
That's what I'm trying to find out. Joyce, could you find out who came up with those figures?
Yeah,
See if you can solve that mystery.
And
yeah.
I don't
Thank
know,
you.
we might need paint on the bridge. You know, it's getting there and some of the boards.
that
are a little-
has to be, there's a big process on that because you have to scrape it first and you have to do a whole, with the tarps and everything, so it doesn't go in the river.
You can't have a flake hit the water.
Right.
I'll go out there tonight.
I resemble that, Mark.
You want me to go ahead? Want her to go ahead? If they're tied up?
We don't know if he's downstairs or not, do we?
The door's open, door's open.
You want me to yell?
I'll go downstairs, because I can't connect, I've got to go get my tablet.
Probably need a running for the closed session.
Maybe.
When?
We were going to, but now it's not. That came out, just to break it. Normally when I do that, I don't get out of here.
Well, we're
We're kinda
supposed to have
hanging.
some cake a little bit later.
Okay?
Did somebody give me this?
Oh, yes, that's Pat's.
Leave it
Oh,
Peter, want to see that?
So those were the differences in the budget amounts.
Peter, did you want to see my
So they're all set for their
copy of the
public
budget?
hearing?
Where it says park maintenance?
They are.
And that's next Wednesday?
That will be next Wednesday,
7 o'clock, John.
7 o'clock.
Joyce, I texted
Standing
him.
room only.
I texted him.
I'm gonna bring down my tablet.
Get there early so you get a
You
seat.
want to try to
Be
use
in the
mine?
middle room downstairs with no windows, is that it? For standing room only? Or the coffee room?
They're all
Or
supposed to
below.
come. Who brought chocolate?
I didn't want it in my house anymore.
You put it from Pat and I.
I was just being nice. I was putting 1, 2, 3.
I really needed it tonight.
Oh, you got cake coming, I hear.
Yep.
You know, I don't eat chocolate, but people bring me chocolate. I always think it's a little
Ooh.
interesting.
Sparkling,
Go ahead, John, you can have some.
sparkling water.
Straight up.
They don't want to taste it with that?
Orange juice in it.
There's sparkling cider, that stuff is fun.
It's non-alcoholic. Yeah,
Okay,
Shouldn't have said that.
Well-
Let people wonder.
right.
curiouser and curiouser.
It's just a bit of a lot.
Crossbones.
When my kids were little at Thanksgiving, we had to buy each one of them their own bottle. That's how much they like.
I couldn't drink it. For the life of me, I couldn't drink it.
Okay. So we're kind of hanging here.
We don't have internet.
Go
Crippled.
home.
Crippled
Oh.
by the
Don't know
internet.
what I'm going to do.
Welcome to our new internet provider, MetroCast.
We now have internet.
Atlantic Broadband.
Have we changed?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's my latest bill, that's what it said.
Probably went up too.
I don't know, because I just cut the cord on the TV and
Is
I'm
anyone
doing
downstairs,
Netflix,
Joyce?
Hulu.
There's no one downstairs.
Okay, well,
Your road code's good.
shall we, I mean, we just have a lot of non-publics. We have what, 3?
Yes.
Well, we have Joyce's report.
Joyce, yeah.
How about Keno?
I guess we could talk about Keno.
Yes.
Let's talk about Keno.
Let's talk about Keno.
Oh, no, we're having a no, we don't have a public hearing until we vote to, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead, yeah, we can talk about Keno.
It's my position that I feel that we as selectmen are just the vehicle in this, something like this, and we say, put it on the ballot and let the legislative body decide whether they would like it in Tilton or not. So I think it's a no-brainer just to put it on the ballot and let them decide.
For the ballot or warrant article?
The warrant article on that ballot.
Peter, John? Can you-
Ditto. Sounds like a plan.
All I can say is I'm strongly against gambling like that, and I think that it is a very serious social issue that is going to cause problems in the town. If I go out to dinner, I don't want to be there with people gambling, frankly. And I've seen what happens to people, and they do it, and I don't think it's right. It's a good thing in our town.
But we could vote accordingly.
We could. People getting proper information.
Exactly.
So, since our vote tonight is whether or not to put it on the warrant, not the ballot,
The
right?
warrant.
Does anyone feel we should wait for Ashley?
Yes. One of the other things is, I think would be a good idea to see how it plays out with other towns for a year and skip 1 year. We're not going to be receiving income from it. This is for, what, 2 years?
Next year?
Next year. And I think to skip it this year and see how it works with other towns and get some of the fallout from it and how to best regulate it or,
I don't know.
and 1 year only to give us more information.
I don't think that we have that right as selectmen to do that. I think it's really up to the legislative body to decide that, because it's such a volatile issue with Keno, no Keno, casino, no casino, and we've all had instances in our lives where either alcohol addiction or gambling or something has touched us in some way or another. And if we 5 allow our biases to get into our way of making a decision for the town of Tilton, where there's, almost 4,000 people, and businesses, I just don't think that would be, the other side of that coin too could also be a petition warrant article for us to put it on the ballot.
But my question was, should we wait for Ashley to vote on this? Where we're simply moving this
Yeah, just
to the
moving it
warrant or
ballot.
not.
Right.
Does anybody feel we should wait for
No.
Ashley?
I don't.
I
John
think so.
said yes. Peter, what do you
I
think?
don't care.
I don't think
What's 1 week
I don't
is
think
gonna
she
make a
would care
difference.
either. Not sure.
I'm sure everybody's gonna be here next week.
It's gonna,
Well,
we have to make a decision sooner
well,
or
we know
later.
she would vote no.
What's that?
She would vote no. She was very adamant at the last selectmen's meeting. Read the minutes.
On Keno Health,
Mhm.
right. But not on whether it goes on the ballot or not. On the warrant.
Cindy?
I would like to have the ability to vote on this myself as a resident. I would like to have that choice. And I think the residents of all the towns should have that choice, just as everybody is able to vote on a ballot for selectmen or any question on a warrant. It gives us our choice. Whether I'm for it or against it, I still want to be able to vote.
So, Joyce, if we vote tonight
Yep,
to put it on the warrant,
yep.
we have the public hearing, When is our report due? March 6th? We have to have the hearing before March 6th, right?
February 22nd would have to be.
All right, but our warrant basically is due, isn't it due the 6th, the same as the annual?
No.
When's our warrant due?
No, the budget committee gives you, and you have to post it, I believe it's on the
26th.
25th or 26th.
26th is the last day to post our warrant.
That's in February.
Yeah. The 22nd is the first day we can have a public hearing. That's a little close to decide no at the public hearing, isn't it?
Yep. Way too close.
Kind of, sort of, because hopefully we'll be out to print by then.
Oh, yeah.
What's the, well, no, the last day for the annual is the 6th. Yeah, that is a little close. Okay, I
But
was
don't
just
we have
thinking,
to be printed by the 1st?
we have to produce an annual report by March 6th. Our warrant has to be out by February 26th, but that's just one paper, or two, or three.
Does it hurt to wait one more week?
Anybody?
Is it going to affect its ability to be yes or no? I mean, it's probably pretty obvious Ashley's.
It really doesn't.
Against it, and I'm probably going to be against it, but I
It
think
really
I'd like
doesn't.
to have,
So if you're,
It's good.
It
Well,
doesn't-
end up being on it, but just
It-
allow
saying
them.
it's really going to be,
It really
At
isn't
least
going
allow
to.
it to participate.
Yeah, it won't make a matter.
Missing one?
no, just you.
Yes, Ashley's not.
Yeah, oh, Selectmen, yeah.
And if I just hit the head real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's one up here. Steve, there's one up here. If you want. Go through that door, go up the stairs. You're right.
Up the stairs and then a hard right.
Who's the head?
Vintage.
The selectmen's recommendation was 1,500, and the budget committee, going all the way back to November 2nd, was 2,000.
I think
Really?
that maybe they're thinking it was Island
I'm not a
Concert.
good person.
Well, Island Concert, they have 3,000.
I don't get the connotation.
When they asked for 2,000?
What?
Head.
They asked for 2,000, they give them 3,000? 1,500 to 2,000? Wow.
What's that?
The Island Concert Series.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. It says, the request, the selectmen gave, wait a minute, I'm looking at Old Home Day, forgive me. I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay, we have a visitor.
Sure do.
And we're about to go into non-public.
Yeah, summer concert's 2,000.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on.
My sister-in-law.
You know what
No, I don't.
She's a supervisor at the checklist for Simmerton.
Okay, you're Sheila, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks.
yep.
What does she need to speak with?
Also, I'm trying to find out. Did you want to talk to us about anything?
No, I don't.
Well, be that way.
Go
I
ahead.
haven't seen you in months.
I know.
Cindy, can you turn my sign, please?
Maybe a year.
So make a motion to go into non-public.
Her question is about an abatement.
Oh,
She's submitting an abatement application.
oh.
Make a motion, we go into non-public per RSA 91A:3.
Before you make that, we
I will.
haven't resolved the whole vote tonight or next week.
Yeah, don't,
So, anybody mind waiting to vote on Keno next week?
It doesn't affect time frame.
It doesn't.
It's not going to affect the vote,
Okay,
so it
so,
doesn't
all
matter.
right, good, thank you.
Make a motion, we go into non-public per RSA 91A:3, personnel.
Second,
Roll call vote, please.
Bog, yes.
Constantino, yes.
Dawson, yes.
Scanlon, yes.
Non-public, please.
We are red is on.
Motion to seal the minutes of the non-public session as they pertain to personnel permanently.
Second,
Roll call vote, please.
Bog, yes.
Constantino, yes.
Dawson, yes.
Scanlon, yes.
Are we just aiming? In meeting?
Who's gonna get out of the hot seat?
Until the chief comes in.
Well,
Yeah, I
I don't know what to do. I think the chief should give it to him.
So, I'm gonna do, yeah, I'll have
Is he still working there?
He's working in the corner, and he has the,
Yes.
Yep, I have it. Do we have people downstairs?
They were all in the conference room, I couldn't tell.
This time I'd like to open a public hearing to propose any amendments to the housing standard ordinance, specifically discuss implementing fees and/or fines for re-inspections or failure to appear for inspections. What do you need?
so it'll be good.
No, we didn't put on the day.
Keep going, Chief.
We always do something. Oh.
We break up.
So whenever you're ready.
DTC. Mr. Dawson. We're waiting for the chief.
So, the reason we wanted to do this a little bit different than letting you slide out the back door is because you've done a lot for me over the last probably 20 years, and a lot for Tilton over the last 10, and it's bittersweet. We're obviously very happy for you. We're really too. So, I wanted to make sure that we set you up right. So we have a couple things. First off, on behalf of the Board of Selectmen and the town of Tilton, we wanted to show their appreciation for 10 years of service. And you did a lot in 10 years. So thank you very much. This one's from us. This certification for appreciation is hereby granted to Corporal Steve Henry for 10 years of service with the town of Tilton. During the time, started as a patrolman and worked your way up to ranks from patrolman to corporal, bringing your experience in working on the Central New Hampshire SOU with room, building entry, and officer safety. It was a great asset to our agency bringing that training to us. Your contributions to building police community relations with events like Movie in the Park, Coffee with the Cop were greatly appreciated and you will be missed. The Tilton Police Department, as well as the town of Tilton, thanks you for your 10 years of service. if I could get Tilton PD to come up with one, please. Chris, Noel, Matt.
You guys go up to uniform first.
You can stand in the back.
You can stand in the back.
If everyone can stay, Steve.
So at this time, we're going to recess the selectmen's minutes for a few moments so we can, we'll say
BLEN.
We are red. Red is on.
MHEIN. What the Hades is that?
This time we'll make a motion to go into non-public session, 91A for personnel
Second.
and
In.
acquisition.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Fogg, yes.
Constantino, yes.
Nelson, yeah.
Scanlon, yes.
You're on.
Not yet.
Okay.
Camera's still on.
Okay.
Take care. Chris, hold on to that hat. Chris knows.
We are red. Red is on.
Actually, I'm gonna put, I'll leave that in there.
You know, you may see something in there that I missed.
Camera's
This
on.
all happened so fast.
Motion to seal the minutes of the non-public session as it pertains to employee permanently. Was it employee? Yes.
Personnel.
And acquisition until that matter has been resolved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Fogg, yes.
Close the public hearing.
Constantino, yeah. Should be public.
I was thinking of the other stuff. But that's okay. Yes.
Scanlon, yes.
I'd like to make a motion to release the information of a action that was taken in non-public as it pertains to hiring.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Fogg, yes.
Be roll call vote.
Constantino, yes.
Yes.
So I'd like to make an announcement that we have hired a part-time dispatcher.
Fill in for,
Fill in
yep,
as needed.
as needed.
Yep, that's a part-time, yes.
Yep.
Thank you. That's a much better explanation. Joyce?
You want to close the public hearing?
Oh, thank you, and I turned my page over. There goes the note to close the public hearing. At this time, I'd like to close the public hearing. It was opened at 6 o'clock to discuss amendments to the housing standard ordinance, specifically to discuss implementing fees and/or fines for re-inspections or failure to appear for inspections. And I'm going to suggest that we wait until Ashley's here to vote on that, if no one objects.
Nope.
Joyce, please, you don't object?
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, Article 3, the Northfield Selectmen met Tuesday night, and they decided to put in the part that's in parentheses, Article 3. It says the town of Northfield, article is to see if the town of Northfield is interested in conveying its 1/2 ownership of Island Park to the town of Tilton. So our warrant article, I'm suggesting we do the same, to see if the town is interested in owning 100% of the Island Park.
That's a good idea.
So that way, we'll know if our townspeople want to own the whole thing, and they'll know if their townspeople want to give us half. Okay, the next ones I just made bullet points because I have no idea how you want to put, what order you want to put them in. So we can discuss that later. Shall we allow the operation of Keno games within the town of Tilton? I took that from the handouts that we got from them. Then somewhere in here we should put to see if the town will vote to accept the report of the police building study committee. because that's what we said, we'd come back and report to the town. To see if the town is in favor of adopting community revitalization tax relief incentives in accordance with the provisions of RSA 79E. And Daria and I will make sure that we put some information in the town report and put some on the website explaining exactly what that is.
So the report of the Police Building Study Committee, it was the selectmen that actually were gonna come back and report, correct?
The committee was going to report to the selectmen.
That's right, but it was the selectmen that were going to report back to the town meeting.
Okay, yes.
Right.
And at town meeting, we could ask, we could defer that to the committee if we so choose.
Of the selectmen.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Not
Okay,
me.
Sounds like mine. I didn't know.
Oh, your coat's over there.
now on the next one, I sent this to New Hampshire Municipal Association Legal Inquiries, and they have not responded to me yet. I'm looking for their help on this, because it just is a little too repetitive and a little too wordy, but gets the point across.
Which one?
The next one's about the
Wildlife?
wildlife corridor.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then the next one, to see if the town will vote to reduce the number of elected budget committee members at large from 6 to 5, so that the total number of members serving on the budget committee shall be a total of 7. So you'll have 5 members at large, you'll have 1 selectman ex officio, and you'll have 1 representative from Lockmere for a total of 7. So right now you have 8.
Did you send that to DRA to see?
What?
Did you talk to DRA about that?
To see if the town will, I'm on the next page now, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of, and that's just the estimate I have right now from Home Depot. I have to sit down and go through it all and compare it with the other one we have.
Mhm.
Just the cost for moving alone, to hire the company to move was a little over $3,000, but that can be whittled down if we just get it into one day, 1 or 2 days.
Does that include taking the safe out of town hall?
Yes.
That's nice. That'll be a good thing.
I would be recommending to the board that we work with that company because they're local, and these companies charge portal to portal, and they're just right in Belmont. And he's willing to move the safe, move the safe. So I'll have more details on all that. I'm still waiting for one other estimate. And I need to check the one from Home Depot to make sure it's exactly what we want. Okay, the next one, I know Brock and Tim had talked about this, and I know Catherine, you had asked today, were we going to do a revolving fund? So I don't know if the full board is even aware of any of this.
No. This was Brock had said something to me yesterday when we were going out to look at an inspection. And he's going to make a presentation to the board, but I thought that this would, be a part of it and the board could see it. We're running out of time, so I figured the board should see it as soon as possible. We haven't really discussed. If I remember correctly, Brock presented it to us. He was going to go get more information, then come back.
How much fees does he actually collect?
Well, we haven't. We'd charge them. We'd have an agreement with the fire department that the town of Tilton Public Works Department would maintain their rolling stock. That's all.
Right now, I think they're paying upwards of $175 an hour, and they have to drive all the way up to Tamworth.
Oh, so this is, wait a minute,
So if I had said a
You-
Tilton Public Works,
this is not worded correctly,
a Tilton Public Works.
would fix the fire department's apparatus. And we would charge them.
Well, I'm going by
Well,
the
that's
way the
not-
statute
Yeah,
is written.
that's not part of this. This is what we do if the Board of Selectmen agrees to do that.
Right.
This is how the monies would be taken care
Well-
of. And this is not my idea, this was Brock's.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm trying to find out what you would like to do. What's the purpose? To bring in the fire department's trucks and things like that and
Yes.
fix it and put it in a
I
revolving
think we
fund?
need, yeah, I think
Yeah, the charge.
that was,
The money. Is that
Brock's
what the
idea
intent is?
was, if the Board of Selectmen agrees to his proposal, that the monies that were collected would be put into this fund.
Okay, I haven't heard his proposal, so I'm completely in the dark here.
I haven't either.
All right, so is his proposal that he have our mechanic work on fire trucks?
Well, that's what he presented to us that night. I thought you
I-
meant the whole proposal.
No, I didn't hear him say that
Yes, that
he
was,
wants our mechanic to work on fire trucks.
yes, that's what the proposal was, and he was gonna go out, because we asked a bunch of questions. You know, I can remember a couple I asked, and he was gonna go gather that information. Like I said, I talked to him briefly, because I was headed out.
Well,
And he has gathered it, and Joyce, he needs to come in as soon as possible, because time's marching on.
Does he have that much spare time to do that?
As to not require.
Well, that was
the
my,
part
that was
That's the
one-
part I had put in.
that was one of the questions I had asked him, so does he
And that's
have
why I
all this
asked
time?
DRA to tell me, is it okay if I put that in there? Because I want, that's
And
like,
he's gonna come back and tell us that. I
belts and
didn't get the
suspenders.
answer to it.
So,
I just felt that, you know, while we're looking at warrant articles, that Joyce could do whatever she needs to do, because I said, can you put those monies into a revolving fund?
yes,
Because,
and that much we found out from DRA
yeah,
that we could.
so knowing that we're running out of
Related to
time,
safety, public safety.
I figured at least we could get this part,
So that's why it's,
yeah. But no, I haven't heard, none of us have heard, I don't think.
It's similar to, we would have an agreement with the fire district, similar to, we have a school resource officer agreement, and we have a prosecutor agreement.
do they know this,
The,
fire department?
they're the
They're-
ones that came to Brock.
They're the ones anxious to find out what decision we've made. I said, none yet.
My only involvement in it has been when Tim Joubert, on behalf of the chief, had come to me, and I said, well, the first person you really need to talk to see if it's even feasible time-wise is go talk to Brock. And then Brock had spoken with him, and Brock had said in passing to me, he says, yeah, I think it could work. And then from there, Tim had sent an email to DRA making sure that we could set up a revolving fund. So that's what I was going off of that. And then I had mentioned to the chief, I was talking with him about some other matters, that I said I just wanted him to know that that at some point the board will be talking about that. I said, but I don't know when, where, or what, or
Well, we better
why.
be talking about it pretty quickly.
there's a lot that we have to talk about on this one.
Oh, a whole lot.
And this
I
may-
have questions going around in my brain right now, it's like swimming.
Yeah, yes, and
I'm not to you then, or before you.
this
You
is
go
only,
before me,
this
yeah.
has come up, I'd say it's maybe been 2 months.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a little slow.
Was this brought up at the meeting I wasn't here?
I don't.
It had to have been,
I don't
because I
think-
do not ever remember
My
him
only
ever
memory of talking
mentioning
about
this.
it was one time you were downstairs
Was
and
it?
Tim had come
Yeah, I
in,
can look it up.
and, because I don't even think you knew about it then.
I just, you
I only
know,
knew about it when he came in here, and
Okay.
but it was brief. I mean, you know,
My personal opinion is, I think this is a great idea, but I think right now we need to put forth what we need for
we
our
have trucks,
town.
we have trucks down.
yeah, but let's hear from Brock, because this is a win-win for the town of Tilton. We're gonna save as a district, because we're not paying our 2/3 of $175 an hour to repair the stuff. Even if they have to get a part, they gotta drive all the way to Tamworth. When they bring something up for repair, the guy has to sit there and wait and come back. So I think before we make any decisions, is all I'm saying, let's hear the complete proposal from Brock, but he's gotta be in next week.
I'd like to ask some specific questions
Yep.
to make sure he brings that with him. I would like to know how we would be reimbursed for the time that he, and the benefits, and the overtime, who would be responsible if it throw his work causes him to go into overtime?
That's a good
And
question.
this is all very similar to the way we do a detail. So the wages would have to come out of
Oh, yeah.
this and work through the same method for
Pretty
payroll,
much, I think we'd look-
retirement, and all that.
And what would take priority? If our trucks are down
Has to
and
be
their
ours.
trucks are down, what would take priority?
Peter, you had something you wanted to say?
I lost it.
Well,
Well,
just, even if it was just starting off with oil changes.
let's get him in, regardless of what it is. Let's get Brock in next week, tell him if
Well,
we
so
really
let's
need to
fix
hear
the
on
changes.
this, or, you know, because
And
we're
the
running
other
out of
thing,
time.
John, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up with a mechanic rate. You know, it may not be 175, we may be 125, we may be, you know,
Yeah,
but it's like, we'll have a set rate.
based
that-
on all of those factors.
Yeah, if we do go through with it, yeah.
And they're gonna-
Make sure that you tell him he needs to be prepared. Because he won't have, it's not like he can come in, well, it doesn't work out next week, and the week after, and the week after. We're running out of time.
Well, no, just say if you want it this year, you better come next week, because you're
Yeah.
out of time.
It needs to be ready.
And-
super prepared.
And there's a lot of questions, so.
And I want written, no verbal. I want a plan.
Well, I
I'm
just don't want it to
supportive of
detract from what the town's trying to do.
I'm
Big
supportive
E
of it,
needs to
but-
come in with a well-prepared plan without having us to look at it and say we've got 42 questions for it with this plan. It has to be documented in front of us so that we don't waste valuable time.
It might save time if people have, from this, have specific questions to send him, but tell him, don't email the answers back. I'm just sending you these questions to be prepared to answer them next week.
Yeah, heads up, this is what I'm going to
This is what I'm gonna be asking
Tim will
you.
want to weigh in on
If you
it.
want to send them to me and I'll make a sheet, a form.
Gail, thank you.
Did you get that question I just threw out there? Do you want me to send it
I did
again?
not hear.
I know,
I'll send it again.
I could figure it out.
Okay, then we got our capital reserve funds, and the only thing that is different is when you get to the highway equipment one. Oh, that should be bolded. I just added the line, that the highway equipment capital improvement plan is updated annually each year. Just as information. Because some people interpret that the way we had this warrant article, when we first established it, it meant that we were committed to that CIP plan that was established in 2012, going out to 20.
Do we actually do it every year, or should it say is updated periodically? I haven't seen any, when's the last update we've seen?
Well, I tried to give one last meeting, but I
years
was
ago.
told that it wasn't correct.
Well,
And then also I learned, Gail, about the highway shed being repaired.
He asked about that.
Yeah, he asked about the shed, and I said, well, it's in your budget.
I was gonna say, you've been budgeting for how many months now?
He wants to repair that shed and he didn't put it in his budget?
No, he didn't know if it was, had to be in a warrant.
No,
How much is it?
maintenance or repair.
the shed that last year was the end-all and be-all fix that they could do in-house for $1,000, and this was gonna be the fix of the year.
That wasn't his, that was before him.
That was
They
also
did
on
what
the
they
side,
could
not
last
the
year.
back.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it, John?
Well,
Yeah.
just let him know that
It was the men that did
if
it.
he's gonna spend money fixing that building,
Right, but I think it was the.
should have been in his budget.
Here's what happened, we fixed the side that was
Was no
fixed, that was
director.
pushed out and bumped and done. The problem is that as they kept loading over the years, the sand, it pushes back, and it's billowing out the back wall of the salt and sand shed. If you take a look, you can see it. Brock looked at it, and I think there's a question whether or not we need to replace the building, or somehow do the repair. If we're to replace the building, it would just keep getting pushed out, and perhaps we should be, or should have been using a building that has cement walls around where or blocks around where the silt and sand is. So I think that's why he was questioning, should he have a warrant article for the total amount of a building?
Depends on the cost of the building, because you know.
This should be in his plan.
Next year. Not
Yeah, they're
this
gonna
year.
have to patch it up and make do, because if he's gonna replace that building,
Get all the sand
you're
out,
talking
put those
about
cement blocks
tens of
in there.
thousands of dollars.
Yeah, we'll ask him to.
That's a bond.
To explain all that next
Right
week
now.
too.
What was you wanna put to replace it? Yeah, it's a pole barn.
Yeah, I think he was going more like a Quonset type.
That's up there in sand.
Bigger and better.
Well, he should be updating his plan every year, because he comes in every year and asks,
He's
so
only
that we
been
know.
here a year.
Hmm?
He's only been here a
Yeah, a
year.
year, I know.
All right, could
So we
you,
know-
somebody, let him know the game plan? Please. Oh,
But he had 2 years worth of work.
back to the whole fire department thing.
Mhm.
You might, some of the selectmen, you might wanna just talk to Tim Jubert about it. Because
About
as he
Tim
talked to me Wednesday about the Tamworth going up there and blah, blah, blah. That doesn't come from
Is he gonna
Brock,
come in
so.
and talk to us?
I don't know. I'm leaving it up to Brock. This is his deal.
Or you thought the selectmen should talk to Tim?
I'm just saying, yeah, because during the inspection, he asked me yesterday what's going on with that, and I said, well, I just talked to Brock, he's still working on it, the selectmen haven't made a decision, but he's supposed to give him a proposal,
Some selectmen didn't even know about it.
and he, talked about, what they currently have to do, and that might be missing from Brock's presentation next week, so you might wanna just touch base with him. I don't know if Brock intends to have him in, so you may not need to.
So, I mean, we could go ahead with the creating of the revolving fund and put that in for, well, it doesn't really have to be in for the hearing because it's a non-money thing, right?
Yeah, we don't have
So
to
it's
make a
kind of
decision.
yeah.
We don't have to make a
Okay.
decision, I just thought, at least we'll get that
Get
in
going.
there. Yeah, to get going, we could just say, okay, this isn't gonna work, take that out.
How many trucks do they have?
I don't know.
Oh,
Six?
I can tell you, I learned. There are 2 fire trucks, 2 pickup trucks, 2 ambulances, a ladder truck, a tanker truck, and the chief's vehicle.
You left out the
2,
forestry
4,
truck.
6, 7,
And the
8,
forestry truck.
9, 10 vehicles. So,
And a boat.
in a boat.
This is just rolling stock.
So presently,
It's on a trailer.
our employee has enough time to take on 10 additional vehicles with no problem. That's where I have a problem.
Well,
What is he
but,
doing now
however,
that he's not going to be doing then?
However-
What isn't?
is this proposal just on the fire apparatus that has to go to Tamworth? And I don't know that answer. I wouldn't, I can't, so, I don't know how to say
I
this
guess
nicely.
you really need to have
As
the
a resident of the
department here
tax,
to
of the
explain.
fire district,
Wait, I'm
I'd be
sorry.
really upset if they're sending the chief's vehicle all the way to Tamworth to be repaired because it's just a SUV. I mean, I would think the alarms and stuff, or if you go to somebody like Ossipee Local,
Their tires, northeast.
and I mean, I don't know, but I'm guessing we're only talking about specialized equipment. But your
Apparently-
question is very good.
Kevin is certified for working on these emergency vehicles.
I don't know.
And Brock had mentioned something to me that he was, and so I think that's why they're looking to him for doing some of it. I don't know the scope. Like you said, we got a lot of questions, and that's a key thing
This is gonna be
is how
fun.
we can squeeze in 10 vehicles for an employee that should.
So far, I think we all are asking that question.
Well, we'll find out next week when he
We'll
comes
find
in.
out next week.
That'll be another question.
Well,
Move on.
Getting back
That
to
is-
your comment, Peter, then, where it says, which is updated periodically.
Mm.
Is that all right?
everyone?
And I mentioned to John earlier that I looked at the original warrant article for the island, and it isn't for just a environmental engineer, for engineering. It will include other improvements, it says, and other improvements for the island. And
Thank you.
if we do a bond article, that would become Article 3, because your bond articles have to go first.
Are we putting any additional money into the fund for, or we just dropped on that
Well,
engineering or?
yeah, there's 60,000 in it now. And I did find some good information on the island when people were hired to go into the river and mechanically themselves, I mean, not mechanically, not a big excavator, were pulling blocks up and repositioning them. So maybe we could do like they treat milfoil, where people go in and just pull them by hand.
We should practice.
Go in with our crowbars and just push them up. As of December 31st of 2017, there's $60,459 there.
What's that for, Joyce? I'm sorry.
That's the balance in the Tilton Norfolk Island Park Capital Reserve Fund.
John is just pointing out in the, she paid the supplements for the New Hampshire practice series. $707.
Was it $12,991.32?
The largest one is to, because in 2016, we did not do any
So that's
supplements
for all of our law books.
for the new ones.
That's
And-
not just the New Hampshire practice series.
No, the New Hampshire practice series, I think we got new books and supplements.
So that's for all of the law books.
Yes,
Okay.
and
That's all the updates.
most of the books, because we didn't do 2016,
Yeah.
they have brand-new 2016 books, and they have brand-new 2017 books.
Okay.
Yeah. When the supplements get to be too big,
They put it
they
back.
have to make a new book.
Oh, because it's just too much supplement.
It's just too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just redo it.
So, and we're missing, I know we're missing the public health one, so you must have that up in your office.
I have an old public health one.
You have an old public health?
I don't think I have the new one.
So,
It's on my
so
desk.
you'll see another one shortly, because my 17 supplements, as you see the little white ones that are there, they don't have a 2016 book to put them in. So these
They don't do online if you can subscribe?
you can, but it says on there, don't rely on what's online.
Yep.
And if there's anything that ever happened electronically, that's the book we go to, and that's. the
Well,
only
I'm
copy
not
that
saying
fits
like
in.
for free, is there like a copy, a digital copy of these that you purchase from them of the actual book, not searching online,
Oh,
Right.
I can ask,
you know, and licenses that,
that might be,
you know, it makes it so people could print it out, things like that, you don't have to worry about it ever copy floating around, or where is it? I know you like the hard copy, it might be difficult, but you can print as many copies as you want.
Well, it's like I take the old
She's
ones
cringing.
and I look it up. And of course, you have all the case law, which I like.
Yeah.
And sometimes when they print a new book, they get rid of some of the old case law. But I always, because it is old, I'll look up the RSA to see if there's been any changes. So that's why I use an old book.
so anyway, so
So I
one
do
of my
both.
projects before I
But
leave
again,
is I wanna make sure
Print
that
is,
that's
I love print.
all up to date, and then Sheena's going to keep it up to date going forward. And if somebody takes a book out, they've got to put a little card in there saying that they have the book.
That's a good idea.
Right now, the New Hampshire practice series is in my office, and then if Dari takes one, he tells me.
Oh, I have my own.
Right, you have your own
It's on
personal
my
set.
desk.
Yeah, I mean, you have your own set that the town pays for? or
No,
that you-
I have
okay.
my own set that I
Yes.
bought. I know this is sick
Town,
before
I
I
know
was a
that
selectman.
Dari keeps the land use one up here,
Yes,
so.
yeah, I don't have the land use, I just have.
So you will see another invoice for some 2016s, I think 3 2016s that,
Okay, thank you for updating him.
The next thing is, you know, and I've asked a lot about preventative maintenance. We had a service call for $1,470 to the Public Works Department. Diagnosed 4 heaters that were not working in the building at all. Found that all the heaters were extremely dirty and in need of service. What type of maintenance system, you know, for tracking, you know, before the heating system, does this get tuned up and cleaned and filters? And
Who did the service?
And on tap.
oh, that's the
On-tap
plumber
plumbing.
that we used for the Riverfront Park, because he'll come right away. They had no heat.
But all 4 heaters were out, so. And
When
all
was-
extremely dirty.
What was the last year they were serviced?
So I'd like to find out, what is the service plan for,
We don't have any record of it, I don't think.
so.
What kind of heaters are they? Are they
4
kind
hot
of
air heaters, right? Yeah.
that's set up, or are they down here?
Are they changing the filters in them? I think, you set something up at the police department, was it last year or 2 years ago, for cleaning of the air conditioning and the duct, or filters,
I know
change
the-
filters?
Yeah, the cap changed the filters twice a year in our system.
Furnaces should be cleaned every year, once a year.
The fins should be
Minimum.
cleaned on the cooling, you know, on yours,
That's general maintenance.
ours.
I mean, every year I have Brian come in, he does the air conditioner and checks out the furnace.
So let's find out
Why
what
aren't we
Public
doing
Works
this for
says.
Public Works?
Well, I think Public Works should do that.
I think
No,
so.
let's find out what they are doing.
Yeah, they should answer.
That's his building.
He just got here. How would he know that it hasn't been done in?
Because he's been here for a year, and everybody knows, before heating system, you check out your heating, you have it tuned up. That's a common thing.
Saves fuel.
Maintenance of the building. You don't wait for things to fail. You know, you take a look at the roof. Is the screw starting to come off? Is it leaking? You know, is he paying attention to the building?
Did they
Yeah.
clean them?
If $1,475.
Was that just repair,
It
or
says,
did they clean them?
It said, extremely during phone when we hear defective proving switch for a power vent. The power vent motor had seized up and was no longer working, because all those motors should be lubricated every year. There's a little place where you put the oil. Provide, install new pressure switch, proving ground. Provide, install 1 new power vent assembly. Clean all 4 heaters and remove dirt and debris. Provided and install new thermostats.
Be interesting to see if we use less fuel.
Well, all 4 weren't working, so I don't think we.
Well, if the power vents weren't working, then you're not getting your outside air and all.
They weren't working efficiently, I mean, that's for sure, so we should probably use less fuel.
So
Hopefully.
let's, yeah.
Interesting
get
to
him on
compare.
a schedule, write it
January.
down, make sure he's got filters in stock. That
He's
somebody,
using the Google Calendar now, so he'll be feeling the Google love. He can put in the pop-up reminders now, so he's excited about
you know,
that.
every 60
Oh.
days or whatever.
All right,
Sorry.
anything else,
Yeah,
Joyce? Anybody have questions for Joyce?
I do, but they have to wait.
Selectmen's reports? Done?
Let's see, since I wasn't here last week, I don't think I reported to the Conservation Commission. Did you mention what we talked about?
No, it was fascinating though.
Okay, so we've got some new plans for what's going in across the street from Lowe's. Everybody aware of that? We've got a mattress dealer who's up to Narrabri, you know, with this.
Tire,
We've got
Arby's.
Tire and Arby's. They went over it.
They're all gonna fit in that spot?
Well, they're taking out Rescue's old house, too, all Munchkin Manor and
Okay, so it's going, okay.
all the way up to the post office. There were a bunch of questions over, you know, how they were going to prepare the site, the runoff from it. They weren't aware that we had a ordinance on trash receptacles. We didn't have any on the plan for outside trash cans. We talked about fencing around dumpsters, protection from the neighborhood, doing that. In their plan, they're removing the granite curbing and replacing it with cement curbing along the front.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of odd, because when we had those put in, we were very adamant that we wanted everything granite curbing along there.
Technically, doesn't a curbing belong to the state?
Yeah, I was,
And, you know, they
Where
worked
would
with
the-
us, and, you know, the state, and,
Why would the state let them do anything else?
so, but all in all, it seems like a good, much better fit than the gas station. And then there was one other, we
School
talked
Street?
about up School Street, putting in a new
The subdivision.
subdivision, from, George,
The gentleman.
Kevin was putting one in. The biggest problem is, they came in there, they only talked about a 2-year storm. He kept referring to a 2-year storm as being the most dangerous and biggest problem. Runoff, they never did calculations for a 100-year storm. The ditching on swales didn't really collect it, and it was made so that, yeah, if a big storm came in, it would just flush everything out and top over and just go into the, it wasn't very well received plans, and so he's going to go back to the drawing table on that one.
Big.
And I think that was pretty much it for Conservation Commission. Budget Committee approved pretty much everything of the selectmen's numbers last night, except for, you said $500, as we discussed before, and a couple dollars here and there on something else.
Outside agencies, I think, was the only other variable, wasn't it?
The blind was up 500 more. That's it.
This needs your signature.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sitting here space pop.
Are we holding this till Ashley's here? About the foreman job description?
We've already approved it, right?
It just needs to be signed. We held it because John wasn't here, but I only have 2 signatures on it.
Who hasn't signed it that's here tonight?
Peter and John.
I didn't,
Have not or have?
I
Have not.
didn't look
I was
at it.
waiting because Ashley wasn't here tonight, so that's why.
We already approved it, right?
I thought we were supposed
No,
to
we didn't
discuss it
approve
this
it.
week.
We weren't going to discuss it.
So we'll hold this for...
Hold it for Ashley.
The only thing I have to just quickly mention is the condition of the sidewalks this week. Had phone calls. Residents were very, very upset. Yesterday I came home from work and my neighbors on Cedar Street collectively brought their own pails of sand and salt mixture and salted the sidewalk on Cedar Street themselves so that the children wouldn't slip and slide. That yesterday morning, there were several children. I picked up 14 of them for the bus stop there on the corner of Cedar and Winter. And they couldn't get on the bus because they were slipping and sliding all over the place. So when I came home last night, all the neighbors were out personally sanding the sidewalk. I was kind of embarrassed. And I got several calls on the conditions of the sidewalk. That's it. let's say.
Peter?
Motion to, you,
No, I'm good.
motion to adjourn.
Second. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.